Hi, welcome to Story Time with Gigi. Today we're going to be reading a fun story from the Little Golden Book collection called The Golden Girls, The Way We Met. Our story was written by Derek Elmer and illustrated by Shane Clester. Picture it, a late night on Richmond Street in Miami. Three friends, Dorothy, Rose, and Blanche, sat around their kitchen table. They had just watched a very scary movie, and now none of them could sleep. "At least we're not alone tonight," Rose said. "There's nothing worse than being wide awake and scared and by yourself," Dorothy agreed. "Oh, yes, there is," said Rose, "being wide awake and scared and by yourself without a double fudge chocolate cheesecake in the freezer." Soon the friends were enjoying a delicious cake together. "I never used to do anything like this with my old roommate," said Blanche. "I didn't know you had roommates before us," Dorothy replied. "Oh, yes. Two very eccentric old ladies," Blanche explained. "I kicked them out one morning. That was when I first met Rose." Blanche had just hung up a flyer for new roommates in the local supermarket. Suddenly, she noticed a woman with a cat. The woman looked sad. "Are you okay?" Blanche asked her. The sad woman was Rose. The new owners of Rose's apartment didn't allow pets in the building, and she wasn't about to part with her feline friend, Mr. Peepers. At first, Blanche wasn't sure that Rose would be a good fit for a roommate, but then she watched Rose give her cat to a boy who had just lost his own pet. Blanche knew Rose's heart was big, and that was enough for her. "I happen to have a room for rent, and the name is Blanche Devereaux," Blanche offered. Rose agreed to move in, but Blanche still had one other vacant room. Luckily, a few days later, two women arrived at Blanche's door. They had seen her roommate flyer. "I'm Dorothy Zbornak," said one of them, "and this is my mother, Sophia, who lives at the Shady Pines retirement home." "Shady Pines is a prison," Sophia said bluntly. Even though Dorothy was convinced that her mother had made a bad first impression, Blanche offered them the available room. The first test of their early friendship came the next day while they were grocery shopping together. The new roommates couldn't agree on anything. "This one's ripe," Dorothy said after she selected a melon and gave it a sniff. "Oh, Dorothy dear," said Blanche, "the best way to tell if a melon is ripe is with the Southern method. You thump it." "Well, actually, roomies, I have the best method," Rose said, cutting into a melon and tasting it. "It works every time." The bickering continued all the way home. There, they debated about how to put away their groceries. "Oh, girls, let's face it," Dorothy finally said. "The three of us can't agree on anything. I mean, it's obvious we are not meant to live together." Blanche and Rose nodded in agreement. This is exactly what happened during the Great Herring War, Rose said. She explained that the war had begun with a disagreement between two families that controlled the herring fishing off the coast of Norway. The Johansons wanted to pickle the herring, and the Lindstroms wanted to train them for a circus. Did they ever shoot a herring out of a cannon? Dorothy asked, trying not to laugh. Well, yes, but they shot him into a tree, Rose replied. After that, no other herring would do it. Soon the three women were giggling uncontrollably. At that moment, they realized that maybe they could become great friends after all. Let's give it a shot, Blanche said to the other two as Rose put a pastry box into the refrigerator. Wait a minute, what's that? Blanche asked Rose. I know it's awful, but I have an incredible sweet tooth. It's a chocolate cheesecake, explained Rose. I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship, Dorothy said, smiling. I guess some things never change, Dorothy said after finishing her slice of cheesecake. They sure don't. We almost finished the entire cake, Rose said. Yeah, and it sure took my mind off that scary movie, added Dorothy. Suddenly, Sophia burst into the kitchen, giving them all a fright. Ma, that's not funny, Dorothy shouted. Laughing, Sophia went back to bed. With their nerves newly rattled, Rose, Dorothy, and Blanche decided it wasn't yet time to call it a night. I think I'll have just one more cup of tea, Blanche said. Yeah, we can finish the cheesecake, said Dorothy. The three women stayed up all night laughing and trading more stories about how they had become friends. And that's our story. I hope you liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe and share with your friends. Bye until next time.